the supporting cast is doing so well that they're going to be able to take over the game for Mage Bane and open up some farm for him. Now, yes, Silhouette is better in that regard where if she's getting dominated in her lane, she can always just kind of go to the jungle and farm a lot. Mage Bane can't really do that as
the top lane again.
Oh no, top lane. MyNuts is going to be 0,
Oh my god.
7, and 0. Now, he had a ward on him, but he didn't place it or anything to give him any kind of information. Now, the tower does go down in the bottom for NoobG. That's, I guess, I mean, that's going to be good for them. That's the best they can do. Mid tower, though, is getting pressed by Legion's side. The ports come out. Behemoth maybe trying to line up a stun, but no, just doing a little bit of chip damage here to the elementals that Chessie has. But yeah, he had a ward. I would suggest placing that. I don't even know what he can do at this point. The damage has already been done. He is 0, 7, and 0. He's not getting anything done right now. And but I mean, you gotta, like you said, you gotta look at the positive aspects. Silhouette is still the top farm in the game. He's doing very, very well. He's actually very close to his Nullstone.
Yeah.
He just finished the last component there for his Sustainer, and so only about after that Wild Hunt, there's about 900 gold away. So good. That's a sign of life for tdM. They're not out of it yet, but you got to expect with a portal key on Bubbles, portal key almost up here on B-Kid, and it's up now on Chessie. That's a lot of aggression, and that's going to open up the map and give some space to Haxorand that he needs a lot.
Yeah, and this kind of goes back to, again, not to pick on Emerald Warden here, but I even laugh, just thinking about saying it. But not to pick on Emerald Warden here by any means, because again, obviously, the facts speak for himself. He's just really struggling, and it's just been snowballing downwards. But Emerald Warden is just, to simply put, a hero that. What is she bringing to the table right now, compared to, say, if it was that Bubbles, which they had the chance to pick. I mean, yeah, it's not even worth commenting anymore. I mean, another death. She's 0-8-0 now. There's literally no vision in their jungle here, so, not really a surprise yet again. I mean, that silencing shot is level 2 now. She maxed out her Hounds first, which I'm not even sure I can agree with, honestly. Considering the situation, I would think, the Tempest ultimate here in the middle lane. That's going to set up the perfect Graveyard Stun on top of it. In comes Bubbles, and absolute wreckage there in favor of Complexity. And we see they're going to catch Silhouette as well. Oh, a genocide. We have a 15-minute genocide. Concede Foe coming out.
That's a 15-minute concede.
And that just happened. A 15-minute concede in favor of Complexity. I once again think you can say that was perhaps a little bit hasty there.
See, now I don't.
But, I mean, it's Game 3 of the Winners Finals. Play it out a little bit longer, I think. But I do think that, yes, it was looking to the point, especially if the way that fight ended. It was so clear that tdM was frustrated. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that right now in Scarp, whatever they use, it's just like a case of, well, that sucks. We beat them Game 1. We had a lot of momentum. We had our chances in Game 2. Game 3, it was all Complexity, especially Moon Meander at the top lane on Bubbles. That was huge. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, he did fine, but just the roam coming out from Franzi and Tempest there as well. Despite the fact the whole jungle was trapped, cool story. I bet there's Chessie was saying cool story, bro, but they applied so much pressure to MyNuts. Oh god, they applied so much pressure to Emerald Warden, and he wasn't able to do anything. And I talked about at the beginning. I really think that the support that game from Franzi won them that game. Like I said, a lot of supports on not the teams that aren't as good as Complexity will just kind of sit down there and maybe help Mage Bane, thinking, well, Mage Bane, he has such a rough lane, I gotta be here to help him. But no, you just abandon that if you know there's nothing you can do. He found openings in every lane that he could. He just roamed around, went mid, couldn't do anything with the Invis rune, went top. He's just trying to look for openings, and that set up a very, very easy lane for Bubbles. And then, like you said, just snowballed from there. So really well played by Complexity, despite the fact that I really just don't agree with the Emerald Warden pick at all.
Yeah, I have trouble putting this game on Emerald Warden. Of course, again, it's hard to say that because really I think the pick's definitely now.
And I agree.
MyNuts, he was the captain, and so he's healed, so he picked Emerald Warden, obviously, and so in that sense, maybe you can put it a little bit more on him. But really, I mean, Complexity. I think the biggest thing, too, is that you allowed Complexity, unlike Game 1 and unlike Game 2, to get their very comfortable lineup. In Game 1 and Game 2, remember, they didn't get their comfort zoned heroes. They did not get their comfort lineup. The first game, I mean, they were trying to run a carry Soul Stealer with a kind of a semi-carry Hammerstorm. Didn't work out. Game 2, they were forced to use, I'm honestly blanking on who they were using in Game number 2, but game number 2, they didn't use those quad heroes. They ended up using, Warbeast, that's right, as their kind of go-to carry. They didn't have their Mage Bane or their Dark Lady or Silhouette in this case, so But Game 3, they had exactly their typical complexity lineup in Witch Slayer mid, Bubble, Suicide, and then, of course, the Mage Bane carry. So that I think definitely played a huge role there as well. Again, as far as that comfort zone in favor of complexity. Sorry, I'm trying to write here to actually quickly set up an interview, because definitely after that series, I want to get somebody on here from complexity to quickly talk to them about how that played out. But man, oh man, that was just an intense series. But in the end, that means complexity. They are going on to the grand finals. They lost a game, Trout, but they are going on to the grand final, sure enough. And as you can see on your screen, TT Esports did indeed defeat Pikachu in the second game as well. So it'll be them versus It's Gosu. The winner of that will play Trademark, and then the winner of Trademark versus whoever wins that match will play Complexity in the grand finals. But Complexity will be up 1-0. Or they'll be up. They'll only have to win one best of the three, where the losers bracket team will have to win 2 best of the threes in the grand finals. So it's going to be a tough road, whoever places Complexity now in the grand finals. And it's even much more safe to say now Complexity, there's a good chance that they could be winning this whole thing. But got to get there first.
Yep, definitely. They did secure their second place no matter what. So that's very, very good for Complexity. And yeah, you did mention just their formula of their lineup there. Complexity had the Witch Slayer mid, Bubbles top, and Suicide. And if you really think about it, it wasn't the hard carry necessarily. It's just the roaming and supporting cast of that hard carry. That hard carry on Haxring could have been any hero, honestly. Yeah. Because, not to say that he didn't do anything. He really didn't. I mean, he was 1-0-1, but he couldn't do anything. That wasn't his fault. He was in a hard lane. He couldn't do anything at all. But the good roaming coming out from the support, as well as Moon. Moon was 2-0-10, by the way. He was involved in 12 out of I think 13 of the kills. And I mean, that's what you got to do, and you follow that formula. But yeah, just really, really well played by Complexity this whole series.
Indeed, it was a lot of fun to watch. But with that said, I believe now we are actually joined by